Help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code Blueberry004. That's BLUBRRY004.
All right, Nathan.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Doing well.
Good, good.
I'm wore out already, and it's only day one of this show.
I'm about 9 hours off my time zone.
Oh, are you? Where are you from?
I'm based out of Switzerland.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would imagine that I'm hoping you didn't just fly in yesterday.
No, I had a day just to recover.
That's
but they say the second day
thing.
is the worst. Cause
you know, for jet lag it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're feeling it today.
It's a crazy beast.
Yeah, yeah. And, of course, then it's Vegas on top of it where there's no time at all, right?
Yeah.
You never know what's going on. But
Wow,
all right, so Nathan, what do you have for us today?
So I brought these. This is a prototype of an eyewear device that's been designed for blind people.
Okay.
Yes. So what we do is we cram electronics into a small package, the smallest package possible. Right now we're looking at this, but our end goal is to have a fashion eyewear frame. And right now the behavior of this device, we've designed it in order to help people avoid obstacles. A big pain point for blind people and people who are suffering from severe vision impairment is that the white cane works very nicely. It's a tactile device, it gives lots of information, but it doesn't do anything above the waist. So we're trying to resolve that problem. It's a fairly big problem if you think about the amount of effort it takes to leave the house with a disability, navigate in the world, understand your environment. Well, we've put sensors on this. So if I open this up, it has sensors on the left and the right, and it's designed for very intuitive use. So we try to give signals on the left and the right-hand side. The user doesn't have to scan the environment. They can feel what's in front of them using haptic vibrations. So we make the device vibrate when there's an obstacle that's threatening them in the way, in their pathway. And by moving slightly from the left to the right, they can find the path that's safe to get out of the situation.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. So I'm trying to, I can't, so I see people walking with a cane, you know, and I've always thought this. In fact, I've seen a few people hit like street signs.
Yep.
You know, right, like even here in Vegas, because they're like right here, right? Especially if a person's 6 foot or taller or whatever, and bang, here's your forehead banging into another sign, you know.
Yeah, right.
You know, I think the cane, and I wonder if this is. I have a few other questions too, but
sure.
But the cane notifies everybody else around them that that they have an impairment, right? So, how do you encourage people to continue to use the cane in with this, or how do you plan to? I mean, is that part of the education process?
Absolutely.
Or?
So the cane is an essential item, and we try to complement the cane. So the cane, as you stated before, people carry the cane often in order to identify themselves as having a vision impairment. What we do is we try to protect the full body. So in fact, you can't use this right now in its state, the current state of development. And likely for in the future, you won't be able to use this without the cane because it's designed to detect obstacles in front of the user. But it's existing solutions to try to protect users above the waist often involve additional processing, so information processing, because either they're devices that are embedded within the cane itself, or they're wearable, there are other types of wearables, but they don't necessarily, not all of them at least, give directional information.
I see.
What we've tried to really do is, this comes out of, so I'm based in Switzerland, and you wouldn't believe how many objects, even in Switzerland, you might hit your head on walking down the street. It always surprises me. But this comes out of the eyewear fashion industry. So we're in the Italian part of Switzerland near Milan. We're very well connected into sort of that scene, right? So we've got designers on the team. And the designers, so we're not coming at this just throwing a whole bunch of engineering at the problem. The designers said, well, look, what can we do with glasses? We've been doing glasses all our lives. There's combined 90 years experience on our team. We're a startup, so we have the experience. We're very young, but there's tons of stuff behind it. What can we do with these glasses? What can we do with something that we put on our face every day that will help people? And how can we help people feel and look good? So social stigma was a primary, that's a problem we're trying to address here.
Sure.
And we're really trying to figure out what kind of problems we can solve without over-engineering, without making this thing massive. So
it's very clever. It's very clever. I'm assuming it just charges up with a USB.
Right now, it's charging with USB.
Okay.
Yeah. I believe for the final product, we're looking at a case charging option.
Okay.
So we're going to keep everything very simple.
Yep.
If you think about the vast majority of people who who are blind and vision impaired are on the older end of the spectrum. Lots of people 65 and up. Many people come to me and say, hey, my mother or my father are blind or vision impaired or losing their sight. And so we're thinking about a device that's simple to use, that's intuitive, and that appeals to that side of the population just as much as anybody else. So that, design criteria are pretty important here.
Okay. I sense a backstory here. So can you tell me what inspired you to do this?
Yeah, so I come from a social sciences background. I've been around for about a year. The founders have been around doing this for longer. Founders, again, they came out of the eyewear industry, initially started talking to people about what to do with glasses. They have worked on eye tracking devices projects in the past. They've seen that you can put technology into glasses. They've been a part of that process, and they've done some wonderful things with it, but they wanted to figure out what they could do to help people. Initially, they didn't go to blind and vision impaired people. This is something that sort of emerged out of the process because I think they were rather surprised as well to find out that glasses could be useful for people who can't see. So now we're really in the fashion accessory sort of area, which is not exactly true because many people have light sensitivity, so they may be legally blind, but they have high light sensitivity.
Sure.
They need dark lenses on here, so we can do that as well. We can darken these as much as you want.
Okay.
But yeah, so you try to do something that helps them. I think the surprise for them came in terms of people asking them for different styles. So they were asked for different colors. They were asked.
That's interesting.
Going to talk to blind associations. Can you put Swarovski crystals on here? Can you make it look good? So the response is yes. We can make this in various sizes for various different face sizes, different face shapes, and sure we can do colors. We can do styles. So we're coming out with a line.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
it really is. So
cool little story.
So I put these on. I'm trying to formulate another question here.
Sure. Go with it.
So do I feel the vibration in my temples then? Is that basically how this is? And when I get closer to the danger, does this thing get stronger? Or how do I know that I'm 3 feet away or 6 inches away from something I'm going to bonk my head on?
Sure. So the amount of information that you need and can process actually is in the experience in our early testing is surprisingly little in terms of making this something that's intuitive. Right now, yes, we do have the vibration in the temples, but these are also Bluetooth connected. We're developing an accessory that vibrates. So something that you could wear around your waist, abdomen, where you have vibration points down here.
Okay.
We've been asked to have that as an option. We will probably still keep the vibration as an option in the temples as well. We're looking at ways to do it better so it's a little bit more clear what's happening. Haptics have come a long way, so there's lots you can do. These right now are meant to start vibrating at a certain predefined threshold, but machine learning can give us more information about movement and context. We can also create different modes. So we will have a connected app with this where you can switch through different modes, and if you prefer to get that information with different vibration patterns depending or intensities depending on the distance to the obstacle, you should be able to set that yourself. But we still need to test all this.
So where do you see this going? I mean, are there other sensors? If you had, I have to tell you, I'm just blown away by this. So I have friends who are blind that I could see them using this, you know. So, and I have an itchy nose right now. I wonder how I'm going to get money here, but isn't that the same? Yeah, it is. Yeah,
same here,
yeah.
same here.
So I'm really impressed by this thought of using vibration to move yourself through a crowd or you know. So I mean, are you going to like can you incorporate things like GPS and things like this? So as you're walking down the street, it can tell you that you're 50 feet away from where you're going to turn and all this good stuff. Is these things you're working on as well, or?
Right. So yes, I think our roadmap. In our roadmap, we have a future version that's coming out. The feature set on that future version is not defined yet, but we've had different requests from different people, and I think we're trying to filter it down and see what's doable in terms of the package that we have.
I mean, I just look at like I mean, last night when I was going to a meeting, and I wasn't really sure where I was going, and I went from driving mode to walking mode on my Android, you know,
yeah.
and it basically said, you know, in 30 feet, you know, turn this way, and I was actually wondering if I could drill it down to even steps after a while. I mean, it's really pretty impressive.
You can get pretty fine-grained.
Yeah, yeah.
In navigation, I mean, we've sort of started with navigation environmental awareness in mind. And I think we'll have to see where that takes us.
Okay.
The first priority people told us is they wanted to feel safe in terms of obstacle avoidance.
Sure.
Safety and security, comfort outside, and indoor. So indoor navigation is a whole kettle of fish. There's some really cool solutions out there that are looking at that as well.
Yeah.
We see this sort of as a standalone device, in the sense that it should be able to operate. You put it on and you go out. But we want to have connected options as well. So we're evaluating either doing some of that groundwork ourselves or partnering.
Okay.
There's some really great initiatives out there.
Yeah.
Some interesting companies that are certainly pushing the boundaries in this space, sort of navigational and environmental awareness space for people with vision impairments. And we're excited to see where that's gonna take us.
Where do we find more information?
So you can find us at lighthouse.tech.ch, CH for Switzerland. You can also look us up easily by typing in LTH01, which is the ugly code name that we've given to this prototype.
Okay.
I believe we're one of the few LTH01s out there in the world, so it's easy to find us that way as well.
So .ch is Switzerland.
.ch is Switzerland.
I did not know that. I just assumed it was China all these years. I bet you get that a lot.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting.
Cool.
So go check this out, everybody, at Lighthouse. Say your website again.
Lighthouse.ch.
Lighthouse.ch. Nathan, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
And a lot of fun, and
I
I wish you all the best with this. And I have a feeling that your company is going to help a lot of people in the future. So thank you for this.
That's what we're in it for. So yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Nathan.